From Indy streaming news leader, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
A local church told to no longer serve as a shelter for the unhoused. The reason why, plus the church's response.
IMPD graduating more recruits, soon to be officers. How the department says this will help them be more proactive in the community. But first, here at 6 o'clock, it is Kevin Gregory Day in Indianapolis, and there is an official proclamation to prove it. After more than 35 years on air at WRTV, Kevin is retiring. This is his last show.
But he is tackling one last weather headline, and it is windy here in Indy today. A wind advisory is in effect.
Yeah, Kevin, wind now, but what else are you tracking for the weekend on your last day?
Your last day.
A wintry change.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing significant, but in the 30s. We're going to keep it right down the middle here. That wind speed today, almost 50 miles per hour. That's pretty significant, the wind gusts. They won't die down until probably 10 o'clock tonight. And as you look at the horizon, the cloud cover coming in and some clearing to the west across central Indiana. The wind was strongest a couple of hours ago, where we were pushing that 50 mile per hour limit. I think as we get past sunset and after 10 o'clock, then that wind will generally be 20 miles per hour or less. It's a very mild evening. We made it to 64 for the high, and then tomorrow, subtract 30 degrees, quite a different feel.
Well, tonight, frustration from an Anderson church after it says it was forced to stop providing shelter to the unhoused. WRTV's Rachel Wilkerson spoke to those directly impacted.
These people last night cried because they didn't know where they were going. They cried and cried and cried whenever we've told them that. Then they seen the Facebook post. And last night I cried because I couldn't do anything to help.
Jessica McCullough volunteers at Restoration Church. Throughout February, the church served as a warming center.
One of the nights that we had over 90 people in here. It was 96 people in here, and it became very real to us that even after the weather warmed up, they still need help, and this can't end.
Which is why the church decided to offer shelter to them.
Every human has the right to sleep at night without the fear of being robbed or raped, and you should have the ability and the right to have something in your belly on a daily basis. And so that's kind of where we started.
People noticed.
It meant I didn't feel like I was fighting the world alone for a change, and I felt like everybody here had the same kind of heart as I do.
Now the pastor says they have to stop housing, putting dozens back on the streets.
In a week and a half, 11 people have gotten work and 3 have gone to rehab, which tells us that there's a need, that we've recognized that in the city of Anderson, the services that are there's not a clear pathway from homelessness to security.
The man who owns the church building explained the church cannot operate as a shelter because they do not have the proper permits. The church will still provide meals and snacks, but people won't be able to stay there. Now the church is looking at other properties in Anderson that could be used as a shelter.
They're good people, they just need help.
In Anderson, Rachel Wilkerson, WRTV.
Anderson Mayor Tom Broderick Jr. says the city did not file any complaints against Restoration Church. However, he says there were some complaints from neighbors about the issue.
Nearly 24 IMPD recruits took the oath to protect and serve their community as they were sworn in today. This all comes as the department is down roughly 300 officers. IMPD says the increase in staffing allows the department to continue its return to community-based beat policing. The department tells us beat policing allows officers to focus on 1 square mile locations throughout many parts of the city. The goal here is to address the needs of each neighborhood while building key relationships.
Our city needs them. Our city wants the police protection. They want fair, consistent, compassionate policing. That's what we're teaching. That's what these recruits are going to give our community.
IMPD says with today's recruit class, the department now has 1,440 officers. These new recruits will now go through 20 weeks of training in the field.
Governor Mike Braun spent part of the day in Anderson holding a roundtable with 9 Hoosiers. Those residents are concerned about high property taxes and said they support the governor's property tax relief plan. Braun's proposal was to cap property taxes at 2% for seniors and growing families and 3% for everyone else. But a Senate committee stripped that idea amid revenue concerns from local school districts and municipal governments. The committee then created an amendment that would limit how much governments can increase property taxes, which Braun says will just slow down how fast property taxes increase. Today, he spoke about what it would take to get a tax relief plan over the finish line.
get it back to where everybody was getting some kind of tax break, making sure, like I said earlier, that school districts and local governments cover their legitimate costs and a reasonable growth factor.
The property tax relief bill passed the Senate and is now being considered in the House.
A rally at the governor's mansion this evening. The group Jewish Voice for Peace protested ICE and the plan to deport people and undocumented immigrants. This comes after Governor Braun issued an executive order requiring law enforcement to report people who are in the country illegally who also pose a threat to public or national security. Demonstrators also rallied in support of Palestine and against Elon Musk's role in the federal government.
A groundbreaking today for a new rapid transit bus line here in Indianapolis. IndyGo calls it the Blue Line. It will run down the middle of Washington Street between Indianapolis International Airport and the town of Cumberland. It will become the third rapid transit line in the city after the red and purple lines. The first rides on the Blue Line are planned for sometime in 2028.
All through February, we have been shining a light on Black history. WRTV's Nadja Woods shows us a local middle school is doing the same by celebrating Black entrepreneurs in the Circle City.
It's really inspiring.
For Avondale Meadows Middle School, Black history means recognizing Black businesses right here in Indianapolis.
We partnered with some Black-owned businesses today to donate some food or give some partial donations to us for our students here to be able to taste Black excellence.
Not only are they doing a business that everybody is able to go to, or not only are they doing this business on their own, but as a community.
Lanaya Gardner was a part of the school's annual Black History Month program on Friday. It featured music, poetry, and a chance for students to shop from local minority businesses.
When I go up and buy stuff, I get to ask questions about how they get what they are.
It's important that kids see us as business owners to know that they can do what we're doing.
In Indianapolis, big strides have been made, but there's still a disparity gap in Black business ownership.
In other cultures, they have people, generations of people who have had businesses, started businesses. We don't always have that.
Avondale Meadows hopes this event shows their students it's okay to start dreaming early in life.
I think it's great for our students to see Black businesses doing well.
I think I want to own a Black business.
It's also inspiring us kids and showing us that if we put our mind to it, we can do anything.
Nadja Woods, WRTV.
Well, this is Kevin Gregory's last show before retirement, and coming up after the break, we look back at how his career at WRTV began and evolved, and why so much of what Kevin does goes beyond TV.
Hey, Dad, just wanted to say congratulations on a great career. They say great art is timeless, and I think this is exactly the moment T.S. Eliot had in mind when he wrote, "This is the way it all ends, this is the way it all ends, this is the way it all ends, not with a bang, but with the weather." Take it away.
Congratulations, Dad, on an incredible career at WRTV. I'm so lucky to have you as a dad and such an incredible role model to me and so many others in the Hoosier area. We're so lucky to have had you to keep us safe for so many years, and I'm so excited for all the memories to come in retirement. Hopefully a little more traveling and hopefully a little less snow.
That's incredible. My kids never FaceTime me.
Oh.
There they are.
Look at that.
I know. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Well, you'll see Matt in a second. I mean, he basically he wasn't born on TV, but shortly thereafter we met him.
Right?
We met him.
And everything. Yeah. It was part of your amazing 35-year career here at WRTV. Even introducing us to Matt.
It is not just the weather that you delivered on TV. We want to take a look back now at how your tenure began and the impact you've had across Central Indiana.
August 7th, 1989. George H.W. Bush was in the White House. The summer blockbuster Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson had just hit theaters. And it was the first day Kevin Gregory walked through the doors of WRTV Channel 6.
And weather with Kevin Gregory.
In those early days, Kevin delivered short weather forecasts during the morning cut-ins and the midday news.
I mean, he was perfect. He was like he is today, just absolutely calm, absolutely talented, funny, just fantastic.
So I was put in an environment where the long-term goal was to let me grow into this position.
Under the wing of Chief Meteorologist Bob McLean, Kevin did grow as a forecaster and allowed his personality to shine through.
Back to my relaxation mode. That makes it official. We're all ready for the weekend. It's 6.
Soon, Kevin found himself surrounded by animals when he ventured out of the studio to host what was supposed to be a segment that aired for only 13 weeks. A TV program called At the Zoo, which took Hoosier viewers behind the scenes at the zoo.
Can you blow a kiss? Kind of a sloppy kiss.
At the Zoo took Kevin around the world to Africa and the Galapagos Islands, producing programs that would not only air back home, but also win several regional Emmy Awards. Back at Channel 6, despite his tall stature, Kevin found himself shoulder to shoulder with people he watched and respected. But Kevin was carving a name for himself. He recalled a time in January 1994 when he went on air in the wee hours of the morning to broadcast an alert about an extreme weather condition.
If you're awake at this hour, I said, you deserve to know this is the all-time coldest temperature in Indianapolis history. It's never been this cold before. It's 27 below.
Through the camera lens, Kevin opened his life to us. We knew his dad, Bob Gregory, but in August of 1995, Kevin let us meet his new son, Matthew.
Matthew Robert is awake. Now, Sue and I are always awake, and from what I hear, we'll always be awake.
This is Storm Team 6 on your side.
In 2002, Kevin took the reins as WRTV's chief meteorologist, delivering his forecasts during evening newscasts. He was the guiding voice for viewers during threats of severe weather, including 2004, when a twister touched down near the track during the Indy 500. And in the spring of 2006, when tornado-force winds snatched the windows out of a downtown skyscraper. Kevin's dedication as a public servant didn't stop with saving lives or helping Hoosiers plan their weekends. He also strived to reach and help the youngest people in our state.
Who votes for danger?
He brought his weather camp to schools around central Indiana, helping kids understand science in a simple way and planting the seed for those who might want to pursue a career in meteorology. And who can forget the grand-scale yearly effort to provide toys and warm clothing for children who may otherwise go without. Kevin spearheaded the successful and impactful WRTV Toy Drive.
Mom, Matthew, and Annie, thank you so much. We as a Gregory family wanted to contribute to the toy drive.
I found my way around social distancing.
Even during a tough chapter in our nation's history, when we had to keep our distance during the COVID pandemic, Kevin's warmth and humor raised our spirits as he broadcasted from his basement makeshift studio.
I'm going to take him up for dinner. Bye.
A career that nurtured so many friendships along the way. A man who never met a stranger. You know, I will say something here. What I've noticed, Kevin, in the last couple of weeks here is something that I doubled down on, that you remain humble through all these 35 years, through the time that I've known you, and even now, as we focus on you, you continually put the focus on others. And
because
I think that says a lot.
That's where it's been, and that's why I'm so relaxed right now, is because, I mean, I could talk for hours, you know that. Not necessarily about weather, but all the people that I've worked with, and you'll see several faces in just a little bit. But that is the joy of this. That is the joy of your job at home, wherever you work. If you don't realize it, it's the investing in coworkers. It's awesome.
Well, you are that for us. Every day when we walk in here, you make us happy, you make us laugh, and we will really, really miss you. It's not going to be the same.
I second that. Always a ray of sunshine walking into the studio. Kevin always had that positive attitude
And
here.
sports always loves the weather guy, because if I go long on my time, there's not enough for his craft.
Telling him right now to go.
All right, we talked and established that it's windy. It will calm down a little bit this evening, but overnight tonight, still gusts 20 miles per hour or so, 63. By the way, when I broke into programming to say it was that it was 27 below zero, why that was significant is because anyone at that point that heard that, no longer could their mom and dad or grandma and grandpa say, back when I was a kid, it was so cold. Everything started from that moment. Temperature 31 tomorrow morning, and this is nice. A cold weekend, and then a steady, noticeable, significant climb. If this is the average high, look at how far above average it will be as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. That warm-up coincides, though, with the probability that we'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures over the weekend will have you reaching for your winter coat again. Maybe it's in the trunk of the car. It's somewhere. You'll need it again. But beyond the 7-day forecast, our temperatures will go much above average. 34 tomorrow, almost 40 on Sunday. The wind tomorrow will make it feel colder. It'll generally be northwest at 20 to 25 miles per hour. More clouds in the morning, more sunshine in the afternoon, and a few flurries to confirm that it is still winter. Temperatures from the upper 20s to the mid 30s. Let me just point out one thing. This is far different, this weathercast, than my first one. I hyperventilated about a minute into that one, I think. I came over and Howard Caldwell's like, "Are you okay?" Are you okay? I said, "Listen, I got this. 35 more years and I'll get comfortable. Just hang in there with me." I don't know which way to go. I'll go this way. Temperatures as we go into the weekend are cold. They warm up next week. 58 Tuesday. Brad? Boiler up, by the way.
Old gold, Kevin. Look, 4 old gold for you. We got an audience and everything. I like this. How do I follow that? Here we go. Tomorrow brings March and all the drama that college basketball season builds toward. Purdue is hoping to finish February with something that goes in a better direction. They're hosting UCLA tonight. The Boilers' losing streak is at 4. That's their longest in 5 seasons. It was a 28-3 run Sunday in Bloomington, the bottom-out moment of this 2-week stretch. They had a players-only meeting this week at Purdue, trying anything to sort it out before the postseason. It is the only meeting this season against the Bruins, and it's a key game for both teams. There's a 3-way tie for 4th in the Big Ten standings. That's the last double bye spot for the conference tourney when they come here to Indy. Purdue's final game next Friday at Illinois could be decisive as well. Michigan State and Michigan are leading the Big Ten pack currently at 1 and 2. Speaking of weather, sunny and 71 in St. Petersburg, Florida today. Exactly the kind of weather that IndyCar wants for its season opener. They are hoping the racing action is just as shiny to get things going. The first practice session on the St. Pete Street Course, Felix Rosenquist was not intending to show off, but he did spin and save. Early in the session, he kept it clean. Scott McLaughlin did not. Same spot on the course, tagged the wall. Car busted up from there. Kyle Kirkwood had the quick lap of the afternoon, qualifying tomorrow, the opening race down there Sunday afternoon. And a couple of high school state finals this weekend. Boys swimming is underway tonight at IU Natatorium, and girls basketball tomorrow at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. We have Greensburg and Lawrence North representing the area in Class 3A and 4A.
Stay close. Next at 6, honoring Kevin Gregory during his final broadcast before retirement. You'll hear his final message to all of you.
Wow, over 35 years at Channel 6. Central Indiana has been so lucky to have you provide up-to-date weather information through the years. I remember early on when you did weather cut-ins on Good Morning America. I could watch at home as I got ready for work and then continue listening all the way to work on the radio because Channel 6 was on the radio at that time. What a fun way to start the day. But television hours can be tough, either those early mornings or evenings and late nights. The kids and I have been so thankful to have had you as a wonderful husband, father, and friend. We've been happy to share you with Central Indiana, and we are looking forward to spending more time with you. Happy retirement, Kevin Lloyd Gregory. We love you.
How about that? The love of my life. We met at Ben Davis High School in 1983. Hold up on the prompter for 1 second. I'm not going to go that quickly. I'm trying to read something. But one thing, she waits up every night for me past midnight. So there's only one place to start when talking about my time here at WRTV. Meteorologists David James and Bob McLean made their mark on our station, state, and certainly me. They shaped my career. David and Swoop were mentors, co-workers, and above all, friends. Without their support and encouragement, I predict my career would have been much shorter. Also, much love to my father, Bob Gregory. He shared his career with me from the time I was in 2nd grade. I first followed him to work in 1972. He gave me the confidence to follow his career path. Howard Caldwell was a role model as well, and his advice and friendship meant the world to me. I'm sure you've noticed I'm mentioning people and not talking so much about the weather. The friendships I've made with coworkers and viewers are far more important and vivid than the memory of weather events over the last 35 plus years. For example, the laughs of Barbara Boyd and Barbara Lewis will forever echo in my mind. The humor of Reed Duffy, the kindness of Derek Thomas, the professionalism of Clyde Lee and Dion Willis will always be remembered. To all my coworkers since 1989, producers, photographers, editors, engineers, news directors, general managers, thank you. I want to mention a couple more influential coworkers, Ken Scheidler and Dave Schmiedel. They brought the At the Zoo show to life every week over a decade, and were incredibly patient with me as I tried again and again and again to record some of my segments. They discovered, guys, that I didn't have the memory of an elephant. Best of luck to my colleagues, and happiness and good health to you at home. Thanks for watching, calling, and writing over the years. Thanks to my wife, Susan, children, Matt and Annie, for their support. And where's Dad?
Right there.
There he is.
So I started my day today thinking, how do I begin the end of my career? And I said, I got to go give my dad a hug. So big love.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just have one request for you watching right now from home. When you see me around, please say hello, and we can continue the conversation that started, this is wild, 12,866 days ago.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is.
And it's
the
all in
math
this
there.
room.
Quite the
Yeah, all in
career,
this
Kevin.
room.
Quite the career.
Yeah. So I'll just say this, 1972 is when my dad started. So Central Indiana now is finally going to get an accurate forecast. It's joy of my life, right? And then Matt, who you saw basically born on TV, where is he?
There he is.
Tallest Gregory of them all, 6'7". So much love.
Congratulations, Kevin. We will miss you.
We're going to miss you around here.
I'll miss you.
35 plus years.
Happy retirement.